Morning. Welcome to 365 Days of Richer Living, daily morning reading, meditation, and prayer time. My name is Reverend Rafe Ellis, and I am the Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader at the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living in Columbia, Maryland. Today is March 12th. I express the glory of God. And it begins with a quote from John chapter 13, verses 31 through 32. And just a reminder, I am reading in gender-neutral terms. Now is the child of humanity glorified, and God is glorified in them. If God be glorified in them, God shall glorify itself in itself. Perhaps this is one of the most profound thoughts Jesus ever gave to the world, for it really tells us that when humanity is glorified in God, then God is glorified in humanity. And it means exactly this. Life is a mirror to each one of us. And as we see the glory of God in this mirror, so shall this mirror reflect back to us that same glory. For Jesus says that this God is glorified in him. God shall also glorify him in itself. So shall the image of its reflection become one, even as the parent and the son and the child are one. In glory, in honor, and in majesty and might. No more exalted concept of divine union could possibly be given than this. Today, then, I glorify myself in God, and I glorify God in me. For I am in God, and God is in me. And as God is glorified in me, so I am glorified in God. I do give thanks for this intimate and complete union of my soul with its Creator and its source. And I do recognize myself and in others the glory of the incarnated God, realizing the one life without and within, consciously uniting with it. I proclaim its presence in everything. Knowing that there is no great and no small, I proclaim its presence in the smallest as well as the greatest. All my affairs shall reflect the glory and the power and the majesty and the might of the infinite Spirit. And all that I do shall proclaim its love, its life, and its light. Now is the child of God, the child of man, glorified, and God is glorified in them. I am that child, and God is glorified in me today. And so I breathe into this moment, into an awareness of one life, one power, one presence, one beauty, one source, one substance that incarnates itself in a multiplicity of diverse, magnificent forms to express itself, to glorify itself, to celebrate itself, to celebrate love, to celebrate life, to celebrate power. This is the purpose of my being. I have always been unified with it, can never be separated from it. Created out of it. It lives within me. And created within it, I am surrounded by it. There is no other place to be, no other substance to be. And what is true of me is true of all life, in every form, from the smallest grain of dust to the most microscopic thing to view, to the most majestic, magnificent mountain or cosmos, or something we've yet to identify and name. All this one expressing itself. All the same substance, so the same value. No hierarchy of big or little, no hierarchy of more or less, no hierarchy that separates any element of creation, any expression of this divinity, of this infinite beingness. And so I speak my word, claiming and affirming that today is a day of intentional, purposeful awareness, to express, to glorify, to actually live out loud, to be a visible glorification of exactly what I am. God, some divine, magnificent, inexplicable source and substance. And so today I live my life from that, being that, knowing that as I be it, I glorify it. And the law of reciprocity, as I glorify this one infinite everything, I am glorified because I am that in form. What a magnificent thing to know. That even as the idea of mirroring comes to mind, I realize that I am simultaneously the mirror and the reflection. That we are each that for and about and as one another. All incarnate centers of God, expressing, experiencing, being And so today we be what we are. So grateful. So incredibly grateful to know the truth of my being. The truth of all being. And so I simply release. I allow myself to relax and to simply flow in a day of glorification, of celebration, of newness. I let that be my experience. And to do so, I let go. I let go of any need to control, because I know it's already done. And I am simply experiencing what creation has already completed perfectly. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is.